Welcome to Afternoon Asana. I'm Michelle Chua of Root to Rise Yoga, and all of September on Thursdays at 4 p.m. on our Instagram Live at Root to Rise Yoga, you can find me here sharing 15 minutes of a guided yoga posture. Today I'm going to share a pose that is basically my favorite go-to after a long trail run, or when I'm about to be sitting for a long time, or if I need to take breaks from sitting for a long time, whether it's a long flight across the globe or sitting at the computer doing office work. Whatever it is, this posture targets so many areas depending on the variation of it, and I'll show you different ways to practice it. See what fits with how you're feeling today in your body. So the pose is called lizard lunge, and it targets the physical areas of the glutes, the outer hips, the lower back, quadriceps, if you choose one variation of it, and even the chest, the front of the shoulders. It adds a bit of a spinal twist, which is a nice release for the back as well. So if you have the following props, get as much of it as you can. Some kind of folded towel to use as cushion for putting weight through your knees on the ground. A strap of some sort, perhaps something that you can create a loop with. That's not required, but it's optional. And 2 yoga blocks or some platform, even a chair or a stack of pillows that you can add some more options with. All right, so for this pose, we're not really going to warm up much, as it can be done from a static position. So we're just going to come down to hands and knees, placing your knees on top of your folded towel if you're using something as cushion. Hey there, welcome to Afternoon Asana. So come on down to your knees, and then you'll want to grab your strap just so you have more options. If you have a loop in it, great. You can step the ball of your right foot into that loop. If you don't have a loop, you can just step the middle onto the middle of the strap with the top of your foot like this. But you want to have quite a taut hold of that strap so it's not loose that it'll just slip off your foot. And then we'll come down with the 2 blocks to catch your hands right in front of you. Now the higher the blocks, the more support you're giving yourself if you have tightness in your shoulders or your hips. So you might start with a large amount of support and then remove it as necessary. So we're going to step the left foot forward inside of the left hand or block, just making sure that when you're in any kind of lunge, that you stabilize the knee in front by only bending it directly above your heel, but not in front of the heel, not overbending, as well as making sure to align the middle of the kneecap to point in the same direction as the middle toe of the foot underneath it. Having come from recovering from ACL surgery and tearing the meniscus, I'm very adamant about protecting the knees in hip opening postures. So once you're in this lunge, you'll want to scoot your right knee back another inch or 2, so that as you lean the torso forward, you can feel that your weight is not coming down onto your right kneecap. You're placing your weight above the knee onto your thigh. And then from here, you just take a moment, settle in, notice how this feels. You'll want to try to draw your left outer hip slightly back in an effort of facing your 2 frontal hip bones evenly forward. With that, you can evenly lengthen the sides of your torso and just notice how you're breathing. Allow some deeper breaths, inhaling through your nose slowly and exhaling through your mouth. So here is the first option. You stay right here. This is plenty. The next option is to come down lower on the blocks or hands on the floor. And now we're going to focus on a variation that digs a little deeper into the IT band, in the outer left thigh, even in the outer hip and glute. So to stabilize your left knee as we enter that variation, flex your left foot and continue to align the middle of your kneecap with the middle toe as you gently splay open your left thigh. So notice that I'm leaning on the knife outer edge of my left foot, the pinky toe side, without collapsing onto the outer ankle. Again, the knee and middle toe are facing the same direction. And then here I just continue to breathe consciously, now closing the lips so that you can use some warmth through the breathing to help open up the body. And continue to draw your left outer hip slightly back. Broaden your chest forward, relax the shoulders down. You might even come lower onto your hands. Now, to add the quadricep stretch simultaneously, begin to bend your right knee, again putting your weight onto your thigh, not the kneecap. And as you're holding the strap, left hand is on the floor or on the block, you can walk your hand closer to your right foot, pulling it in gently closer to your glute, and you'll feel the top of that right thigh begin to lengthen. Opening up the right inner shoulder by twisting a little. So like you're looking behind you over your right shoulder. You can explore coming down lower onto your left hand, perhaps even onto your forearm. Again, it's just tuning into your body as you move through the variations of the pose and noticing how your breath might react as you get into a new version. If it starts to feel difficult to breathe, or you know that your body is tensing in a way that might be injurious, of course you take a step back. You always have options. So whatever variation of this lizard lunge you're in now, let's take 5 more deep breaths. So concentrate on inhaling through the nose as slowly as you exhale through the nose. If it's difficult to balance with the same side hand holding onto the same side leg, go ahead and switch. So your left hand is holding the strap and the right forearm or hand is down. Actually, that's the way I usually do it. Opposite hand, opposite leg. Breathing in, breathing out through the nose. Perhaps looking over your left shoulder and adding a bit of a spinal twist as you open the left side of your chest. Inhaling. If you can reach hold of your foot, you don't need the strap. You can just catch the top of the foot, gently bring it closer. One more full breath here. And then start to release your back leg if you were bending that knee, or if you were catching hold of the leg. Place your 2 hands in front of you on blocks or the floor, lifting the left knee. And then we'll just come back onto hands and knees, putting your weight on your leg so that you can transfer the strap onto the ball of your left foot if you're going to use the strap. Helpful if you have any tightness in your shoulders, your quadriceps, or your hip flexors. And then, whether you're stepping into the loop of that strap or into the middle of the strap with no loop, make sure that you have a taut grip on that strap so it doesn't just slide off your foot. And then from here, step the right foot forward. Your 2 hands are going to be both inside of your right leg, either on some kind of platform like stacked pillows, a chair, or 2 yoga blocks. And then from here, be mindful of protecting your right knee joint, not overbending it past the heel, but landing it just on top of the ankle and pointing the middle of the kneecap in the same direction as the middle toe. And then just notice how this feels on side 2. Anything different from side 1? Irrelevant to label it better or worse, but simply just observe the sensations and how your body guides you to what it needs through those sensations, even discomfort and pain, knowing where the edge is. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the nose. So now let's add a bit more of focusing on opening the IT band area, the outer thigh into the hip. Flex your right foot again to stabilize the knee and splay your right thigh open so you're just leaning onto the outer knife edge, pinky toe side of the foot without rolling onto the ankle. And from here, If you want to explore stretching into your left quadriceps simultaneously, scoot your left knee back enough so that as you lean your torso forward, you could bend your left knee and not feel like you're digging the kneecap into the floor. Instead, you're leaning your weight onto the top of your left thigh. Then backstroking either your left hand or whatever is your opposite hand from the first side we did. I started the other one, not the usual way I do it. I actually like to use the opposite arm, opposite side leg. So here I'm going to backstroke the right hand, catching hold of either the strap or the top of the foot if that's accessible for you. Remember, the strap is an extension of your arm if you need more reach. And you could also, if you're still unable to reach back, you could also heighten the platform that your left hand is resting on. So as you lift the torso up higher, you can reach back easier. So there are a lot of ways to vary this pose so that you can most benefit. If you're seeking more depth and sensation in your right outer hip, you could lower your left forearm either onto your block or onto the floor. Continuing to twist by looking over your right shoulder, opening the front of the shoulder and the chest. Make sure that you're not shrugging the shoulders here, especially the left shoulder. You're drawing the shoulder blades down the back. Again, conscious of deep, balanced breaths. Let's take 5 more breaths on this side of lizard lunge. So like I mentioned from the start, if you just joined us, I love this posture. It's such a go-to pose after a long trail run or after sitting for long periods of time, whether you're on a flight across the globe or having to do office work at home, whatever it might be. It's just a great way to release tension in areas that we can absolutely tend to carry it. The hips, the shoulders, the lower back, the spine. One more deep breath. And as you exhale, let it go. Remove the strap. And you might just finish it off by either downward facing dog or just coming to stand with feet apart, wider than hips distance parallel. Bending the knees and just letting the torso and head hang. It might feel good to catch hold of opposite elbows and let the spine sway like a gentle pendulum, releasing a little bit more into the lower back and even into the neck and shoulders. If you're holding opposite elbows, switch the other one on top and continue to let the head fall as you lift the shoulders up away from it. Deep breath in. Let's take a long sigh through the mouth this time. Ha. Bend your knees a lot. Tuck your chin to your chest. And as you inhale, slowly roll up, stacking one vertebra at a time. Lift the shoulders up. Take a deep breath. And through the mouth, exhale. Rotate the shoulders back and down. So there you have it, lizard lunge. Stay tuned for next week, Thursday afternoon asana at 4 p.m. here. And we are gonna break down how to transition if you prefer to jump back, jump forward through sun salutation A, because on the 22nd of September is fall equinox. And for those of you that are joining me, I'll be hosting on Facebook Live 108 sun salutations. And we still have a few spots to do it in person here in Los Angeles. So find the information on our website, roottoriseyoga.org, under community events. Have a good week.